The haunting charm of New Orleans, a gateway to the supernatural. New Orleans, a city drenched in history and culture, stands as a beacon of intrigue for those who dare to explore its shadowy corners. Nestled along the Mississippi River, this vibrant metropolis is renowned not only for its jazz music, Creole cuisine, and festive Mardi Gras celebrations but also for its deeply rooted supernatural legends. Often referred to as one of the most haunted cities in America, New Orleans offers a unique blend of beauty and eeriness that captivates both skeptics and believers alike. The city's allure lies in its rich tapestry of historical events, diverse cultural influences, and architectural marvels, all of which contribute to its reputation as a haven for the paranormal. From the cobblestone streets of the French Quarter to the sprawling cemeteries that dot the landscape, every corner of New Orleans whispers tales of spirits and specters. These stories are not mere fabrications. They are woven into the very fabric of the city's identity, passed down through generations as cautionary tales or cherished folklore. What sets New Orleans apart from other cities claiming ghostly presences is the palpable sense of history that permeates its atmosphere. The city has witnessed centuries of turmoil, from the horrors of slavery and the devastation of yellow fever epidemics to the chaos of pirate invasions and Civil War battles. Each event has left an indelible mark, etching sorrow and mystery into the walls of its historic buildings and beneath its crypt-laden grounds. Moreover, the cultural melting pot of New Orleans, where African, French, Spanish, and Caribbean traditions meld, has fostered a unique spiritual landscape. Voodoo practices, introduced by enslaved Africans, have become intertwined with Catholic rituals, creating a syncretic belief system that acknowledges the thin veil between the living and the dead. This spiritual amalgamation fuels the city's haunting legends, giving rise to tales of vengeful spirits, cursed objects, and spectral apparitions. In this article, we will delve deep into the heart of New Orleans' supernatural side, exploring its most haunted places. We aim to uncover the chilling stories behind these locations, unraveling the mysteries that continue to draw thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from around the globe. Whether you're a skeptic seeking rational explanations or a believer eager to witness the unexplained, join us on this journey through New Orleans' haunted history, a city where every whisper of wind carries the echo of a ghostly past. A tapestry of ghostly tales. At the heart of New Orleans' haunted heritage lies the French Quarter, a district steeped in over 300 years of history and shrouded in eerie legend. Known for its vibrant nightlife, historic architecture, and bustling streets, the French Quarter harbors a darker side that emerges after dusk when the shadows lengthen and the old gas lamps flicker to life. Here, within the confines of its wrought iron balconies and ancient brick walls, reside some of the city's most compelling ghost stories. One cannot discuss the hauntings of the French Quarter without mentioning the infamous LaLaurie Mansion at 1140 Royal Street. Once the home of socialite Madame Delphine LaLaurie, this mansion became notorious in 1834 when a fire revealed the horrific truth about her sadistic treatment of slaves. Eyewitnesses reported finding mutilated bodies in the attic, victims of unspeakable tortures. Today, visitors claim to hear anguished screams echoing through the empty halls and see shadowy figures darting across windows. Another spine-chilling sight is the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, located at 717 Orleans Street. Built in 1817, this elegant establishment was once the site of the Orleans Ballroom, where lavish parties were held. Beneath its grandeur, however, lies a somber history. During the Civil War, it served as a Confederate hospital and later as an orphanage. Guests frequently report encounters with a spectral dancer, believed to be the spirit of a young girl who died during a yellow fever epidemic. Her ghostly figure is often seen gliding through the ballroom, forever caught in her final dance. The old Absinthe House at 240 Bourbon Street also holds its share of ghostly lore. Legend has it that the pirate Jean Lafitte used the bar's basement to store his treasures. Patrons and staff recount eerie experiences, including the sound of phantom footsteps descending into the cellar, and cold spots that send chills down their spines. Some even claim to see the ghost of Lafitte himself, cloaked in shadow, watching over his hidden bounty. These accounts barely scratch the surface of the supernatural occurrences that plague the French Quarter. Each building, each street corner, seems imbued with the energy of the past, where the veil between worlds feels perilously thin. As night falls over this historic district, the line between reality and the paranormal blurs, inviting brave souls to explore the dark secrets that linger in the air of the French Quarter. For those who dare to wander its haunted paths, the stories of spectral encounters and ghostly apparitions serve as a haunting reminder of the city's tumultuous history, forever preserved in the echoes of its timeless streets. The cursed grounds of St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 echoes from beyond. Among the plethora of haunted sites in New Orleans, St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 stands out not just for its age. It opened in 1789, but for the intense aura of mystery and dread that envelopes its crowded pathways. Located on Basin Street, this historic burial ground is the final resting place of countless souls, many of whom are rumored to stir restlessly in their tombs. The cemetery's above-ground vaults and ornate mausoleums create a labyrinthine setting that is as picturesque as it is unsettling, casting long shadows that seem to stretch into eternity. Perhaps the most infamous resident of St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is Marie Laveau, the legendary Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. Her tomb, marked by 3 X's scratched into its whitewashed surface by those seeking favors or curses, is a focal point for both tourists and practitioners of voodoo. Locals warn against drawing the X's, suggesting that such actions might invite unwanted attention from the spiritual realm. Visitors often report feeling watched or followed as they approach her crypt, and some have claimed to see a woman matching Laveau's description wandering the cemetery after dark. However, the haunting presence of Marie Laveau is not the only supernatural phenomenon reported here. Many visitors speak of hearing whispers among the tombs, faint murmurs that seem to carry messages from beyond the grave. Others have felt sudden drops in temperature, a common sign of paranormal activity, or seen shadowy figures moving silently between the graves. One particularly chilling account involves a tourist who captured a photograph of a translucent figure standing beside a family mausoleum. Upon reviewing the image later, she noticed the figure bore a striking resemblance to descriptions of a deceased relative. The cemetery's history is rife with tragedy, adding layers of sorrow and unrest to its already potent atmosphere. Epidemics like yellow fever swept through New Orleans, filling the cemetery rapidly and leading to hasty, often improper burials. Tales abound of coffins being reused, bodies buried alive by mistake, and desperate families hiding corpses to avoid quarantine laws. Such grim histories contribute to the restless energy that many feel while walking through the narrow aisles of tombs. Adding to the eerie ambience are the numerous reports of ghostly apparitions appearing in photographs taken within the cemetery. These spectral images, often unnoticed until the photos are reviewed later, include misty forms hovering near crypts or shadowy figures standing where no one was visible to the naked eye. Skeptics may dismiss these as tricks of light or camera malfunctions, but for those who have experienced the inexplicable chill of unseen eyes upon them in the cemetery, these visual anomalies hold a deeper significance. St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 remains a powerful emblem of New Orleans' haunted legacy, a place where the past refuses to remain buried. Its status as a nexus of paranormal activity draws thousands each year, all eager to glimpse the supernatural, or simply pay respects to those who have shaped the city's enigmatic character. Whether viewed as a sacred site of spiritual power or a chilling reminder of mortality's mysteries, the cemetery continues to captivate and terrify in equal measure, ensuring its place as one of New Orleans' most haunted locales. The spectral shadows of the Garden District, mansions and mysteries nestling in the southern part of New Orleans, the Garden District unfolds as a mesmerizing tableau of opulence and decay, where antebellum mansions stand sentinel over streets lined with ancient oak trees draped in Spanish moss. This area, known for its architectural splendor and affluent history, hides a sinister underbelly teeming with ghostly tales and spectral sightings. Among these haunted edifices, the Myrtles Plantation and the Buckner Mansion loom large, their walls echoing with whispers of the past and shadows of former inhabitants. The Myrtles Plantation, despite technically lying just outside the Garden District in nearby Street Francisville, Louisiana, shares its Gothic charm and haunted reputation with the district's grand homes. It claims to be one of the most haunted houses in America, with a history steeped in murder, betrayal, and tragedy. The plantation's most famous ghost is Chloe, a former slave accused of poisoning the master's children. Her spirit is said to wander the property, a restless soul seeking either redemption or revenge. Visitors recount seeing a woman in period dress peering from windows where no one should be, and hearing the laughter of children in empty rooms. The plantation's eerie atmosphere is enhanced by reports of cold spots and the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. Closer to the heart of the Garden District stands the LaLaurie Mansion, a stunning example of Greek Revival architecture that dates back to 1856. This mansion gained notoriety through its feature on the television series American Horror Story, but its real-life hauntings are perhaps even more chilling. The mansion is reputed to be haunted by the spirits of its original owners, the Buckner family, who met a tragic end. Reports suggest that the wife, driven to madness by grief, took her own life, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow that infuses the house. Those who have dared to enter the mansion speak of doors opening and closing on their own, ghostly apparitions in the mirrors, and the sound of a baby crying in the nursery where none exists. Both the Myrtles Plantation and the LaLaurie Mansion encapsulate the essence of the Garden District's haunted allure. Their stories are not merely tales of horror but are woven into the very fabric of the district's history, influencing its current atmosphere and mystique. The architectural grandeur of these homes, juxtaposed against the grim tales of their haunted pasts, creates an irresistible pull for those fascinated by the supernatural. As twilight descends and the shadows grow longer, the Garden District transforms into a realm where the boundary between the living and the dead becomes perilously thin, inviting the curious to explore its haunted depths. The enchanted echoes of the bayou, mysteries wrapped in mists venturing beyond the bustling streets of New Orleans, the bayous offer a stark contrast with their serene yet menacing landscapes. These wetlands, with their dense thickets and murky waters, harbor secrets as deep and dark as the swamps themselves. The bayous are not just natural wonders but are steeped in legends of witchcraft, shapeshifters, and vengeful spirits, making them a crucial chapter in New Orleans' haunted narrative. Among the myriad of eerie tales, the legend of the Rougarou stands out, a creature born from Cajun folklore. This werewolf-like beast is said to prowl the bayous, preying on those who wander too far into its domain. Stories describe the Rougarou as a man transformed into a monstrous wolf by breaking Lenten vows, cursed to roam the swamps as punishment. Locals whisper of hearing its bone-chilling howls echoing through the night, a sound that freezes the blood of anyone unfortunate enough to be nearby. Sightings of glowing red eyes in the darkness have been reported, instilling a primal fear in those who believe they are being watched by this fearsome entity. Equally haunting are the tales of voodoo rituals performed in the secluded depths of the bayou. Practitioners, seeking to harness the mystical energies of nature, perform ceremonies under the cover of night, away from prying eyes. These rituals, steeped in secrecy, are said to summon spirits and invoke powers beyond human understanding. Legends tell of practitioners who, having crossed unseen boundaries, find themselves haunted by the very forces they sought to control. The bayous are dotted with sites rumored to be cursed, where the air is thick with an inexplicable dread and where the vegetation grows twisted and gnarled, as if nature itself recoils from the dark arts practiced there. Adding to the supernatural tapestry of the bayous are the ghost stories of betrayed lovers and lost souls. One such tale speaks of a beautiful maiden betrayed by her lover, who drowned herself in the swamp in a fit of despair. Her spirit is said to haunt the waters, luring unsuspecting travelers to their doom with her ethereal song. Boaters have claimed to see a spectral figure drifting across the water, her mournful melody carrying on the breeze, warning them to turn back lest they suffer a similar fate. The bayous of New Orleans thus serve as a backdrop to a myriad of supernatural phenomena, each story more chilling than the last. They remind us that while the city itself is rich with haunted history, the surrounding wilderness holds its own dark secrets, waiting silently in the shadows for those brave, or foolish, enough to uncover them. As the mist rolls in and the moon casts its pale light over the water, the bayous whisper their haunted tales, weaving a spell of mystery and terror that has captivated the imaginations of locals and visitors alike for generations. Haunted waters and forgotten voyages flowing majestically through the heart of New Orleans. The Mississippi River is not only a vital artery of commerce and culture but also a repository of ghostly legends and spectral tales. This mighty river, which has witnessed centuries of human drama and tragedy, carries with it a haunted history that resonates through the ages. From ghostly ships that sail its waters to the restless spirits of those who perished within its depths, the Mississippi is imbued with an otherworldly presence that continues to captivate and terrify. One of the most enduring legends tied to the Mississippi is that of the ghost ship known as the Eliza Battle. This steamer, which tragically burned and sank in 1858, is said to reappear on misty nights, its decks still ablaze with spectral flames. Witnesses claim to see the burning vessel gliding silently along the river, a chilling reminder of the disaster that claimed numerous lives. The sight of the Eliza Battle is often accompanied by the distant cries of its doomed passengers, echoing across the water and fading into the night as mysteriously as they appeared. The riverbanks themselves are no strangers to haunting tales. Along these shores, the spirits of sailors and steamboat workers are said to linger, bound to the places where they met untimely ends. In the vicinity of the French Quarter, tales abound of a spectral figure known as the Riverman, who is often seen wandering near the docks late at night. Cloaked in tattered garments reminiscent of the 19th century, this ghostly figure is believed to be searching for his lost crew, calling out names that are carried away by the river's currents. Encounters with the Riverman are described as profoundly unsettling, as he appears suddenly and disappears just as quickly, leaving behind an eerie silence. Further upstream, near the remnants of old plantations, the Mississippi whispers stories of forgotten voyages and sunken treasures. Local lore speaks of phantom lanterns seen bobbing on the water's surface, believed to be the lights of ghostly vessels navigating the river in search of safe harbor. These spectral ships are often associated with the pirates and smugglers who once plied the Mississippi, their illicit cargoes lost to time and tide. The appearance of these ghost lights is considered an omen, foretelling misfortune for those who venture too close to the river under the cover of darkness. Adding to the river's haunted allure are the numerous reports of eerie sounds emanating from its waters. Fishermen and nighttime boaters have recounted hearing disembodied voices, the clanging of chains, and the mournful tolling of bells, sounds that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. These auditory apparitions are thought to be the echoes of past tragedies, the cries of those who perished in the river's unforgiving embrace. Such sounds are often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature, a common harbinger of paranormal activity, leaving those who hear them with a lingering sense of unease. The Mississippi River, with its haunted waters and ghostly legends, serves as a poignant reminder of the thin veil between the past and present. Its spectral tales are woven into the very fabric of New Orleans' haunted history, offering a glimpse into a world where the echoes of the past refuse to be silenced. As the river flows ceaselessly onward, it carries with it the memories and spirits of those who have sailed its waters, ensuring that their stories endure in the annals of the city's supernatural lore. The living shadows of New Orleans, contemporary tales of the supernatural in the pulsating heart of New Orleans, where the past and present coalesce. Contemporary residents and visitors continue to encounter the inexplicable, breathing new life into age-old legends. These modern-day experiences, ranging from the subtly unnerving to the outright terrifying, serve as vivid testaments to the city's enduring haunted legacy. Through first-hand accounts, recent investigations, and documented evidence, the spectral inhabitants of New Orleans persistently assert their presence, refusing to fade into oblivion. One harrowing account comes from Sarah Thompson, a local tour guide who leads nightly ghost tours through the French Quarter. On a particularly chilly October evening, Sarah recounts leading a group past the infamous LaLaurie Mansion. As she narrated the gruesome history of the site, a sudden gust of wind extinguished the lanterns, plunging the group into darkness. Amidst the startled gasps, several members of the group reported seeing shadowy figures darting across the upper windows. Though skeptical by nature, Sarah herself witnessed a fleeting silhouette vanish into the night, an experience that left her shaken and questioning the boundaries between the seen and unseen. Similarly, the staff at the historic Bourbon Orleans Hotel have amassed a collection of eerie anecdotes over the years. Recent security footage from the hotel has captured startling phenomena: doors swinging open on their own, elevators operating without passengers, and orbs of light floating through the corridors. Notably, a maintenance worker named James recounted an encounter with what he described as a cold, invisible force while repairing a leak in the basement. He felt an overwhelming pressure on his chest and heard whispered voices urging him to leave. Despite his initial disbelief, James found himself unable to stay in the room longer than necessary, his tools abandoned in haste as he fled upstairs. Modern technology has also played a pivotal role in documenting these supernatural occurrences. Paranormal investigator Mark Dupree led a team equipped with thermal imaging cameras and electromagnetic field detectors to explore the reputedly haunted Myrtles plantation. Their findings were astonishing: temperature fluctuations inconsistent with environmental changes, unexplained EMF spikes, and audio recordings capturing distinct, intelligible voices where none should exist. One chilling recording seemed to capture a woman's voice saying, "Get out!" a directive that sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned investigators. Beyond individual experiences and technological evidence, community gatherings and public forums have become platforms for sharing and validating these encounters. Annual events like the New Orleans Ghost Festival bring together eyewitnesses, historians, and paranormal enthusiasts to discuss and dissect recent phenomena. Attendees often leave with renewed curiosity and sometimes a heightened sense of vigilance, as they realize that the supernatural is not confined to dusty tomes or faded photographs but is an active, living presence in their midst. These contemporary encounters underscore the dynamic nature of New Orleans' haunted landscape. Far from being relics of a bygone era, the spirits of the city actively engage with the living, weaving their spectral threads into the everyday fabric of life. Whether through personal testimony, empirical investigation, or communal dialogue, the ghosts of New Orleans continue to captivate and terrify, ensuring that the city's haunted heritage remains vibrantly alive in the collective consciousness of its denizens and admirers. Unraveling New Orleans' haunted heritage. The haunted history of New Orleans is not merely a collection of ghost stories. It is a profound reflection of the city's complex cultural and historical tapestry. The intertwining of various cultural influences, African, French, Spanish, and Caribbean, has created a unique spiritual landscape that transcends conventional religious practices. This syncretic belief system, where Voodoo and Catholicism coexist, provides fertile ground for the supernatural narratives that permeate the city's haunted sites. Voodoo, introduced by enslaved Africans, plays a significant role in shaping New Orleans' haunted ethos. This spiritual practice, often misunderstood and sensationalized, embraces the idea of a thin veil separating the living from the dead. Rituals conducted in secret, invoking spirits for protection or vengeance, have historically fueled the imagination of both locals and visitors. The veneration of ancestors and the belief in their continued influence in daily affairs imbue places like St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 with a palpable sense of the supernatural. Here, the physical act of marking a tomb with X's is not vandalism but a plea to the spirit of Marie Laveau, a revered figure whose legacy bridges the gap between myth and reality. The impact of colonial history further enriches New Orleans' haunted narrative. The city's strategic importance during the colonial period brought waves of settlers and invaders, each leaving their imprint on its cultural and architectural landscape. The French Quarter, with its narrow streets and iron-laced balconies, stands as a testament to European aesthetics blended with Creole functionality. Yet beneath its charming facade lie stories of piracy, disease, and war, tales that haunt the district's alleys and courtyards. The LaLaurie Mansion, infamous for its grisly past, exemplifies how the exploitation and cruelty inherent in slavery cast long shadows over the city's affluent quarters, manifesting as ghostly apparitions and chilling whispers. Moreover, the architectural heritage of New Orleans contributes significantly to its haunted allure. The city's penchant for above-ground tombs, necessitated by its high water table, creates a visual and emotional connection to death that is unmatched elsewhere. These tombs, resembling small houses, invite contemplation on mortality and the afterlife. They serve not only as resting places for the dead but as monuments that keep the memory of the departed alive in the minds of the living. The Garden District's grand mansions, symbols of wealth and power, hide tales of family tragedies and broken dreams, their stately rooms echoing with the footsteps of former inhabitants. This intricate melding of history, culture, and architecture crafts a narrative where the supernatural is not an anomaly but a continuation of the city's lived experience. Each haunted site, whether a decrepit mansion or a bustling marketplace, tells a story of resilience, suffering, and survival. These stories resonate with themes of justice and retribution, reflecting societal anxieties and moral dilemmas. They challenge visitors to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the consequences of our actions, bridging the gap between the past and the present through the universal language of fear and fascination. In essence, the haunted sites of New Orleans are more than mere tourist attractions. They are living embodiments of the city's soul. They encapsulate a history of conquest and coexistence, of oppression and liberation, of faith and superstition. As such, they offer invaluable insights into the complexities of human culture and the enduring power of storytelling in preserving the echoes of the past. For those who walk the haunted streets of New Orleans, the experience is not just about encountering ghosts but about engaging with a rich, multifaceted heritage that continues to evolve and enchant. Embracing the shadows, your invitation to New Orleans' haunted legacy. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of New Orleans' haunted history, we extend a heartfelt invitation to you, dear reader and viewer, to step beyond the pages and screens and into the very heart of this bewitching city. The tales of spectral encounters and ghostly legends that we have unveiled are but a prelude to the visceral experiences awaiting those brave enough to traverse the shadowy alleys and crypt-laden grounds of New Orleans. Each story shared herein is a thread in the vast tapestry of the supernatural that blankets this city, beckoning you to weave your own narrative amidst its haunted heritage. We urge you to visit the storied sites we have discussed, the eerie corridors of the LaLaurie Mansion, the solemn avenues of St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, and the mysterious depths of the bayous. Let the chilling whispers of the past guide your steps as you explore the French Quarter's haunted streets, or the grand yet ghost-ridden mansions of the Garden District. Engage with the city's living history, where every corner holds a story, and every shadow could conceal a spectral figure from yesteryears. For those intrigued by the tangible touch of the supernatural, consider joining one of the many ghost tours available throughout the city. Led by knowledgeable guides versed in the eerie lore of New Orleans, these tours offer not only historical insights, but also the thrill of potentially encountering the paranormal firsthand. Whether you are a skeptic seeking rational explanations or a believer eager to witness the unexplained, these tours provide a structured yet thrilling way to delve deep into the haunted heart of New Orleans. Moreover, for the intrepid souls desiring a more immersive experience, participating in a paranormal investigation might satiate your curiosity. Equipped with modern technology and guided by seasoned investigators, you can explore the city's most haunted locales, attempting to capture evidence of the otherworldly. Carry the spirit of New Orleans within as we conclude our chilling journey through the haunted corridors of New Orleans. We hope that the spectral echoes of its storied past have ignited a spark of curiosity and wonder within you. This city, with its tapestry woven from threads of tragedy and triumph, offers more than just ghostly tales. It presents an invitation to peer into the soul of a place where history dances with the supernatural. Our exploration has merely scratched the surface of the myriad mysteries that lurk in the shadows of New Orleans, each story a gateway to deeper realms of the unknown. We encourage you to delve further into the haunted history of New Orleans, to seek out the lesser-known legends and whispered secrets that lie hidden in the folds of its vibrant culture. Whether through books, documentaries, or personal visits, let your pursuit of the paranormal lead you to new discoveries and perhaps new understandings of the thin veil between our world and the next. Share these stories with friends and fellow enthusiasts, for in the telling and retelling, the spirits of New Orleans live on, perpetuating their eternal dance between the seen and the unseen. Remember, the haunted heart of New Orleans beats strongest in the quiet moments, in the subtle rustle of leaves on a moonlit night, or the soft murmur of the Mississippi River. It is in these moments that the city reveals its true self, a guardian of secrets, a keeper of stories, a stage for the eternal play of life and death. As you move forward, carry with you the haunting beauty of New Orleans, let it inspire awe and reverence, and perhaps a little bit of fear. Thank you for embarking on this spectral voyage with us. Until our paths cross again in another tale of mystery and suspense, keep your lanterns lit and your hearts open to the whispers of the past. Safe travels, and may your journeys be as rich and rewarding as the haunted streets of New Orleans.